This guy grabbed me and he's like, you can't go on the course. Sort of waiting, gonna move.
That.
So, I made up 2, lost him right back. We're, shoulder to hip with Justin. So I'm just sailing here, 40 miles an hour, just pinned. Don't panic.
We are back with episode 2 of On Board with Vandergibbon. We took about a year break there, but we're jumping into it with Tulsa Tough, Blue Dome. Tom, how you feeling? Well, I can't wait to hear why you feel less better. Let's just go right into it here. And I mean, look, it was a hot day, a hot weekend. Tell me a little bit about this course. I mean, it's wide open and fast. Does that change the way you can race something like this?
Yeah, I mean, so it's super wide, right? All of the corners were really flowy. If you pick good lines, it was definitely a no-break course. Because of that, it was, almost guaranteed to be a bunch sprint, especially with Legion there. And so, yeah, you can just sort of, I don't know. I like, you can see in the video, I'm pretty far back. It didn't really matter where you were, as long as you got a little bit of space and could sort of maintain momentum and avoid the choppiness. So yeah, I mean, it does affect the way you race because it can let you be a little bit lazy. On the 5th lap of the race, at the midway and at 5 laps to go, they have points premiums. First place gets 10 points, second gets 8 or 7 or something, and then right on down. So starting in the front row, I just stayed up there for the first 5 laps, snagged the first one, and then I sort of dipped off to the back. So I just heard them call it, and the way I'm going to get up there is just by coming inside on this turn and then carrying momentum through the outside on the next couple. And then with 3 turns to go, I hit hard on the inside line and just make a big effort to go right to the front. You'll see. So here I'm, taking out maybe 5 or 6 places there. I go wide to carry the momentum. Get a little bit pinched there, but it's all right. Not really on the brakes. Carrying tons of speed around the outside here. It's a little bit downhill and super, super fast. And then same thing here, carrying the speed on the outside, which sets me up for the inside on the next turn. And so then you see I pinch through right here pretty tight, and then I just go. So now, it spreads out a little bit. And so now I'm able to take out 60 places in a pretty small effort. So now I'm already at the front. There's the Legion train. There's 2 guys off the front going for the preem. Easily on them. There's that CS Velo and elbows. So I just sort of barge my way in on the elbows guy. He leads it out. I don't even know if I got out of the saddle here. Piece of cake.
So we moved forward. You got 17 laps to go. Any sort of plan formulating right now?
17 to go. I mean, still tons and tons and tons of time, but now it's in the back of my head. They're like, all right, we need to make a move soon. And so I'm coming up on Vitor here. Yeah, and you hear me.
What do you say to him? What are you saying to him right now?
I just told him that I'm going to need him in about 5 laps, aka like when we get to about 12 to go, it's going to be time to start moving up. He mishears me apparently, and he thought that I asked him that I need him for 5 laps of effort right now. So he sort of disappears immediately. He starts hoofing it to the front. So a little bit miscommunication there. I think a radio would have helped, so I could be like, hey, Vitor, get your ass back here. But it's all right.
Okay, Vitor. Here.
He's probably thinking, oh, wait, you're just here?
Where you been, bud? Yeah, so now we're just sort of waiting for a moment to move using the momentum of the group. Sort of waiting, gonna move.
Oh, that. And there goes that plan.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the drawback to racing in the back, right?
Exactly.
I love this footage because you see, this is a perspective you don't often see when you watch a crit, is you trying to get back to the race. So like, you can cut through the course. That's obvious. That's part of the rules. And you see some riders up here. They're dipping through. Perfect. You guys. I mean, it's a great spot to crash because you literally
Are right at the
This
crossing
is right
point.
there, right?
Yeah. I like how you're.
This guy grabbed me and he's like, "You can't go on the course." And I'm like, "Sorry, bud, I'm going."
You're like, do you see the number?
But I mean, there's a zillion people out there with numbers on. Like, I don't.
Right, sure. He's a
He's
volunteer.
doing his job. Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's good. I mean, I love seeing how chaotic this is.
right back in the pit. There's a huge crowd of folks there. There's Vitor.
Yeah.
Daniel! Don't get with Vitor and me. We go front.
You know, we've got 3 people in the pit right now. And they actually send us back in 2 waves. So we go in, and then the next time around, they're letting back another giant group. So yeah, a lot of people got hung up on that. Don't panic. This poor guy, the official, just like stone in the middle of the stream here. Still a lot of work to be done here. Just saw Davey. I think that's Brendan right in front of me. Oh, no, that's Daniel. Oh, this is where Daniel blows my doors off.
Daniel, who is a rookie, his first USA Crits race.
Yeah. Hey, he just straight up loses me here.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, wait, come back.
I feel like he pulled you into that turn fairly well though.
Yeah.
He'll learn it. Ooh, that guy almost goes down that manhole cover.
Yeah. That last turn, there were some bumps. Yeah, so now I think there's 8 to go, 9 to go. So watch, there's another big group coming in here. All those guys on the right. Now I'm with Davey. And Brendan's right in front of him. So we got 3 right here. We're all good, but then we see they sort of take opposite lines here. Davey goes right and Brendan goes left, and I have to sort of choose which to go for. So I'm telling Davey to chill right there. He starts going. I'm like, wait. So then he comes back, and now he starts moving. And so now he goes up the right-hand side, and Brendan's over to the left. You can see Brendan over there. And so I sort of choose to go left, follow Brendan around the outside. And now he and I are hooked up.
It's amazing how you just went through that turn exactly and landed on his wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we've taken that turn 40 times or something. So we pretty much know the trajectories and how it's going to go. So. All right, so we got Brendan, and there's one of the butcher box in front of me. I guess that was probably 7 to go. So now we're out of 3 laps. So now we're sort of in a danger zone where everything's really hectic, and could be a crash at any second, but if a crash happens, you're done. So this is sort of the worst time.
All these little moves where you're moving up, are those little digs that are sort of like you're making efforts there, or are you moving up with momentum?
Trying to move with momentum. I use the momentum to come around the outside, and if I find that I've got a little bit of a differential on the person in front, then I'll make a bit of a move. So like if I'm already going, plus speed over the person on the inside, then I'll inject some pace. But if we're going through sort of even, or they're going a little bit faster, then I don't bother. So like here, I'm not really bothering because we're all sort of going the same pace. But then as the pace starts to come out a little bit, I think I make a move up here.
So what's the plan right now? Is it to get alongside Legion? Is it to get behind Legion? Where are you trying to position yourself?
So the goal is to get to Brendan, and then basically have Brendan, ride in the wind next to Legion as long as he can to keep me out of this melee. Because when you're in here, it's just a bunch of tiny accelerations. And you lose 5 places, and you make up 10, and you lose 10, and you make up 5, and it's just a lot of wasted energy. Like that, I get pinched there. I was probably on the brakes a little bit. This is not very smooth or very pretty. But you'll see eventually, at some point, I actually hook up with Brendan, and then it's all very calm. All right, so now Brendan's going. There's a surge up the left, and he puts in an effort to keep the surge behind him. Now I'm with him, and he's basically going to ride shoulder to shoulder with Corey for 3 laps or so, 3 or 4 laps.
So let's talk about this because, I mean, Legion has a big train. We saw on day 2, they didn't really want anybody to ride next to their train, but tonight it seemed like it was okay. And why is that?
I don't know really. It's pretty wide, right? And we're not trying to overtake their train. We're not trying to barge into it. We're just like, hey, we're here. We're taking a ride.
Yeah, so what's the etiquette there? I mean, like you can get on the back of their train, you can ride next to the train, but when you try to bump someone out, that's when you cross the line?
Yeah, I mean, generally you're supposed to, let teams ride together until the very, very final. But yeah, there's been a lot of talk about like etiquette. And it's like, well, it's a race and people get separated and teams get mixed and people lose wheels and gain wheels, and I don't know, it's all just part of it. But right now, so Brendan's going to make a little surge here because he feels people coming up the outside. So he keeps me in front, and boom, we're right back up next to who's that? I don't know. But there's Corey just entering the screen. And so now Best Buddies is behind, Elevate's behind, Butcher Box is behind. And now up this start-finish stretch of this little drag, they're trying to make a move to get past us, to get even with Legion. And you see Brendan swing out wide. He puts in a little dig. We move up a little bit up the train. Boom, we're ahead of it. And then we're back into single file territory where we're sneaking through these turns. So he's making basically 2 big efforts per lap, up the start finish and up the back straight, to keep me ahead of the surge.
So here comes McCabe. He's the first one on Legion. So he's working for someone else on Best Buddies then, or is he just is he freelancing off that train?
I think their plan is to work for Danny Estevez. Yeah, he ended up 3rd the first night, but then he was sort of out the back door the next couple nights, I think.
Danny Estevez, the guy who changes nothing.
Yeah.
But launched Crit Beef on the Criterium Nation Instagram.
Yeah.
So Butcher Box popped a guy up there.
So that's Spencer Movenzada. So he comes over the top, and then he sends it. He just goes on the attack here, and it wasn't going anywhere, but I guess you got to try, right? It's so fast here. People kept coming to me this weekend and being like so frustrated with Legion, but more frustrated with the other teams for, we need to go on the attack. We need to put pressure on them, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, what the fuck do you want us to do? We averaged 30 miles an hour for 80 minutes. Like, there's only so fast you can go. Like, if you want to attack, go ahead and attack. But, like, you're getting, 10 seconds and then you're coming back. Ty's on another level. Like, I was riding harder in his wheel than I was riding on the front. And so Legion's got him riding. They've got Sam Boardman, who Ty talks about Sam like I talk about Ty, right?
Yeah.
And then Alec Cowan, who's a motorcycle, Tyler Williams, who's a motorcycle. So they've got 4 of those guys just drilling it all night. And so, like, you can make your attack, you can go for it, but it's just the average speed is so high that I mean, you would need like 6 super, super, super committed guys to get off the front and just be on the limit. And that's just, who's going to do that? So again, this is still fine. It's not ideal, but it's not a huge panic. There goes Jake McGee. Donate to his GoFundMe. He got messed up in a crash on Saturday.
He did.
Yeah.
So we just saw 2 to go.
So Brendan just swung off, and now I'm on my own, and now I'm a little deep. But 2 to go, this is not the end of the world.
There's a Legion guy who pulls off.
So now they're down to 5.
Only 5.
I mean, that's sort of normal when a team takes over because, like, this is the point where it's really going on. Up until this point, they've sort of been riding hard, but not super hard. So I make a move up the outside here, but immediately lose places again. So, I made up 2, lost them right back. Maybe I made up 3, lost 2.
There's Marcotte right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason I shouldn't be punched right on the back of Legion's train right now. I'm just a little shy. All right, so this is 1 to go. I'm doing a sprint here to get back even with Legion, or at least with Best Buddies. So now I'm in on Marcotte here, and then I lose it.
You're on McCabe.
McCabe, sorry. Yeah, I took the inside line instead of the McCabe line. And now I do it again here, and watch, I just get peeled off. Boom, elevates in the gap. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing here. So that's very frustrating. So, I make the effort to make up the wheels, and then I immediately lose the wheels again. And now here comes another elevate, and then one more, I think. And now it's just, this right here is just full bore, 40 miles an hour, just pinned. But even right here, I'm not feeling too bad because I'm in the draft and I'm like, I know I'm going to sail into these guys on those last 2 turns. And you see, I actually I put myself perfect right on Justin, position to win right here. But I had just done so much work that the legs didn't go. Yeah, I was done by the time we got out of that turn.
Oh my gosh, my heart is racing. Whoa. I mean, I know that's not the finish you wanted, but I want to go back and look at that last turn again.
So coming out of 3rd to last turn, everybody is sprinting. It's full acceleration. And so you're just following the acceleration. And then as you set up for 2 turns to go, they're coming off the gas a little bit, and you're able to ride that draft into the back of them with momentum. And you see, I just cut underneath and go straight from, 9th or 10th wheel right into 3rd wheel with Justin, basically, shoulder to hip with Justin. So I'm just sailing here. Boop, right through. Now, position to win, but the legs are gone. So, not position to win. Yeah.
2 turns to go. I mean, you sprint up here. I mean, you are absolutely flying. You have different speed and different lines than everybody else. Are you worried that you're going to make contact with someone like right here?
No, because the fast line's the outside, and everybody's trying to take as much speed as they can into this final, but I'm taking the positions over the speed. So no, and the runoff on that turn was so wide that, I mean, there's a lot more space than it looks like.
That was an amazing, front row view to the Legion victory, Tom.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I know. You keep providing us with these views.
Yeah, hopefully we have the rear-facing view of them eventually.
All right, Tom, thanks again for doing this episode on board with Vandergibbon, episode 2, the Blue Dome at Tulsa Tough. Like, subscribe, go follow Vandergibbon on Instagram, follow Automatic Racing. We'll see you guys next time.